The first part of our research process is to formulate a research question. So this is to help you figure out what do you actually want to learn about. On Friday, you looked at some potential topics that you would be interested in researching. So today you need to actually narrow it down. What about that topic are you interested in learning more about? For your research topic, question, it needs to meet these 5 criteria. It needs to be clear, which really just means we need to understand what you're saying here. So check that your grammar and usage is good so that we know what you mean. It needs to be focused. So think about this would only be a short paper. So your question needs to be something that could be answered in just a short paper. So don't ask me like, what's the meaning of life or something huge like that would require books and books to answer. Just a short, narrow question. Your question needs to be concise. So worded in as few words as possible so that you're getting straight to the point. And it needs to be complex, meaning you cannot answer it with just a yes or no question. This would require synthesis and analysis to come to a more complex answer. And it needs to be arguable. So even after you answer your research question and you formulated your thesis and you have all of the facts to back it up, a good thesis is one where people still could interpret those facts in a different way. So you wouldn't want to write an argument paper about a topic that everyone already agrees about because that's a waste of time. So this is why we're looking at that SIRS database, because these are all complex issues that people feel different ways about. I've seen a few research questions already today, and I've noticed a few problems. So it cannot be something that if you just Google your question, you're going to find the answer. So sometimes if you're just curious about like a scientific fact, often those are already definitively answered for you. So you can't do that. If you are interested in a science topic, then you would need to take a scientific fact and then ask like, what should we do based on that fact? So that's how you can still bring science in if you want. If you're going to choose a big topic, like I've had several people want to research racism, you have to narrow that way down because that would be a huge category that you could never talk about in just one paper. So narrow it down specifically about, you could look at racism in housing or racism in the criminal justice system or racism in the job market or something like that. It has to be much more narrow than a huge category. When you are working on your research question, you're also going to go ahead and find your 3 articles today. Remember that you need to use the SIRS database. All of your sources for this assignment will come from that database. Let me pull that up. It is slow. So you'll find your issue. I clicked on a random one. This page here, this is the issue page. This is not one of your articles. You can use this for ideas. Like notice there are even questions on here, but this is not one of your articles. The articles are listed under viewpoint 1 and viewpoint 2, or you can find more sources here. For today, all you have to do is pick out the 3 articles that you want to use for your annotated bibliography. And it asks for the source. So for that, put the title. And it asks for the citation. So you would come over here, click on Cite, and then you'll copy it and paste it for citation. I made this document during a brief period when MLA did not include the URL in the citation, so you can just ignore that URL space there because it's already in the citation.